what we're going to do today is we're going to make dream catchers. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, we have paper plates that you can get at the dollar store and scissors that you can get at the dollar store. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to poke a hole in our paper plate. I did mine with an ink pen. Just poke the hole right in there, or you can use a pair of scissors. You want to try it with the scissors?
Yeah, I'll try it with the
You
other
have your scissors. All right, just be careful, don't bend your plate, and don't poke yourself in the hand.
And I just do that to make a little indent.
Right, and just poke a hole in there.
Here we go.
Be careful.
Not gonna work.
There
we go.
All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to take the scissors and we're going to go in and we're going to cut.
That's loud.
It is. We're going to cut all the circle out of our paper plate. Okay?
I don't want to go too close to the edge.
But you don't want to go too close to the edge, because if you do, then your paper plate will collapse when you try and do the next part, okay?
Which I think I already went too close to the edge.
No, actually that's pretty good. And on these plates it's kind of cool because there is a line there if you want to go to the line. I think you actually went past the line. Maybe yours is a little too close.
Okay, I'm going to start going back down.
But it needs to be in a circle, so you want to make sure, do you want to try a different plate? Because I think that's a little too thick. Yeah, luckily we have some extra plates.
Yeah, good thing we have that.
Yeah, stay.
I'm going to try to keep that, make it a little easier.
Okay, so just the way the plates are, you want to make sure you keep it past the slope so that if you get too close to the edge like Lily did here, it'll bend when you try and make them, okay? So we don't want to have that happen.
So probably good about to here.
Yeah, that's good. Yep, just to where it starts to curve over the edge. You don't want to get too much closer than that, okay? Because once you do, then your plate starts to bend a little easier.
Yeah.
And we don't want that to happen. We want to have a nice ring to make our dream catcher, but we don't want to have it. Okay, so then when I'm all done, it's a little uneven, so then I can go back and trim it up just a little bit where I wasn't close enough to the edge when I first got started. And just go back and make it a little neat.
No, it's still the same spot.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to put yarn on. Oops, that is not perfect at all. A big chunk there needs to come out. Now see, Lily's
Right
really
here,
good.
I might have went a little too close, but
That's okay. We'll just have to be careful when we're
still
stringing the yarn on.
It's still a little bendy, but if you go this way,
Yep.
well, let's see, it's already broken.
Okay. That's all right. Just be careful with it, okay?
You
All
could
right.
probably say you have a rip, you could probably tape that up.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take some yarn. Okay, I have some craft yarn that I already had, and we're going to set it down. You want to hold that? Put your finger right there. All right, so then we're going to wrap around the outside of the plate kind of loose once, 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. Okay. I went around 5 times just to make sure that I had enough yarn.
Yeah.
Okay, because the last thing you want is to run out of yarn. Okay, so we went around 5 times, and then you're going to cut your yarn off. Okay, and we're going to set the yarn aside. Okay, and so there's yarn for you, and I have yarn for me here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it all out. We're going to find the end. Okay, find one end of your yarn. Okay, so you're going to put your hand like this. All right, you're going to hold the yarn with your thumb, and you're going to wrap it all the way around, because it makes it easier to work with if it's in a chunk because of the way what we have to do. Okay, so we're going to wrap it around your hand like that. All right, so then you're going to slide it off your hand. You're going to take the end that's loose. Okay, you're going to take your paper plate. You're going to lay it over the top of the paper plate, bring it underneath, and we're going to tie a knot. We're going to knot the yarn onto the paper plate. Okay, we're going to do once and twice so that it stays on. It's not going to go anywhere.
A double knot.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm going to show you first, and then you're going to do it.
Possibly, if you want to, you could probably do it triple knot.
Well, you don't really need to do that, but that way, and then just pull it up so that your tag is off the edge. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you, and then you'll do it, okay? So what I do is I put my hand under the plate. We're going to wrap the yarn around my fingers. We're going to put the yarn over the edge, and then we're going to push it back up through next to my fingers, okay? So that way you have a nice amount of space in between the in between the loops of yarn. And don't pull it too tight. You want to make sure that the yarn is kind of loose. Okay, I'll show you again. So I'm going to put my hand down. I'm going to put the yarn over the plate, push it underneath, bring it up through so it's coming out. So the yarn is over here and the lump of yarn is on the inside of that. And then we're going to pull it a little tight. All right. Okay, now you want to try it? Bring your hand closer over here to where the first knot is, right? Yep, we're gonna go over like that, and then up, there you go. Awesome. Good job. And then tighten it up just a little bit, scoot it over there like that. All right, do it again. Here, the yarn goes around the back of your fingers and goes over the edge. Set it down, reach through, and pick it up and pull it in, and then just give it a little tug to tighten it up. Okay? All right, and we're gonna keep doing that until we go all the way around the paper plate, over the edge, underneath, up and through. Tighten it up. Not too tight though, make sure you can still get your hand in there. Over the edge, set it down, reach through, grab it, pull it up, and give it a little snug.
Yeah.
That's good. Just stay closer into the center, okay? So people
Yeah.
can see on the camera. All right, there's a girl. All right,
Hello.
over the edge, down and through. Whoops. Pull it up. Oh, I missed it. And go in there. There we go. See, it was my turn to make a boo-boo. All right, and then I'm at the end of mine, so we're gonna go through here, up and down, and back to the beginning. Okay. And when Lily gets back to the beginning, then we'll show what comes next. Okay.
One more time.
Yeah, but slide it over this way just a little bit so you have, okay,
Oh.
there you go. And now you have room for about one more, okay? And if your yarn on bunches, you can always find the end and wrap it up again so that
one.
you make a smaller.
That one past the beginning. You
You can just slide it back. Yep, it just slides right around on the edge. So now I made a knot in mine. Oops.
Okay, mine's messed up.
No, that's fine. That's right, because it came up through here like this, see?
Oh yeah. I just couldn't see.
Yeah, it just couldn't see it, yep. Okay, so then, because mine unwrapped, I'm gonna wrap it back up again so that it's a little bit
Mine is
neater to
still
make it.
open, so-
Yours is still very pretty.
I can breathe.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna do the same thing again. We're going to pull out the yarn, okay? Just like we put our hand on it, we're gonna pull out the yarn a little bit with our fingers. We're going to put the yarn underneath. We're gonna come up and we're gonna pull through, okay? We're gonna go, and we're gonna go on to the next one. We're gonna put the yarn underneath. We're gonna come up and pull through. We're gonna go pull the yarn out a little bit. We're gonna come up and pull through.
Now, if yours are loose like mine are very loose, you can.
We're gonna pull, you can pull it in at the end. I'll show you how to
Yeah.
do that, okay? So we're just gonna go all the way around and we're gonna keep doing that. And as we go, it's gonna get closer and closer into the center. This is fun. You know what you can do with these, Lil? You can do these with like white or black paper plates and
Yeah.
black yarn at Halloween time, and then you can hang spiders on them,
Yeah.
and they're spider webs. Okay, so then we're gonna keep going around and around. And so now I came back to the beginning. Are you back to the beginning yet?
Yep.
All right, so then we're gonna pull down the next layer of yarn and do the same thing. Up and through, up and through.
Now, if say you have like little like me.
Yep, you're still gonna do that. You're just gonna
Yeah.
pull it down just a little bit, and
Sometimes
you're
I
gonna
can-
push your yarn. You're gonna push your yarn right up and through. And again, we're gonna pull out a little bit and push the yarn up and through.
And I did not.
Okay,
There you go.
so then you could stop. If your yarn's in a knot, just unravel it, find the end, and wrap it up again so that it doesn't get tangled. Okay, and once it gets smaller, then you could do it on 2 fingers so that it's easier, because we're gonna be putting it through smaller and smaller places. So we don't want it to be too tangly. All right, so we're gonna go on to the next one, and to the next one, and it's gonna keep going around and around and getting closer and closer into the center each time. See? Okay, why don't you wrap yours up a little bit? There you go. All right. And see if it gets too big, you can give it a little bit of a tug, but you don't want to pull too hard because you'll bend your paper plate.
Yeah.
Then you'll be sad. Okay?
Because
once the paper plate bends, it's not going to lay flat again. So then you'll have to start over with a new paper plate.
Yeah.
Okay? So the good thing, paper plates come pretty cheap. So, and if your paper plates are really thin, you could do 2 of them together so that it makes it a little bit thicker to work with. Okay, and we're just going to keep going around and around and around and around until we get all the way back to the center.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Okay, grab the yarn.
But see, it gets more and more into the center, and then like all you have to do is just separate your yarn a little bit and feed it up and through. There you go.
All done.
Yep. Are you all the way into the center? Wow, you did good. All right, so then when you get all the way into the center, you just give it a little pull, and then you're gonna take your yarn and you're just gonna tie a knot when you get to the center. Okay, so you're just gonna push your yarn over. We're gonna cut it off a little bit so that we don't have so much extra yarn. We're gonna cut it off. We're gonna push it up and through, and then we're just gonna tie a knot like we did to start. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it. Oops, we're just gonna wrap it over, and we're gonna make a loop, and we're gonna feed it through. See, I just made a loop here, and then I'm just gonna grab the yarn and I'm gonna push it through the loop to make a knot, just like that, and pull, and we'll give it a little pull like that. And then you could, because I have a big hole in the middle of mine, I can always pull the yarn over to the other side and tie a knot on the other side too, which will close up my circle a little bit. And close it up just like that. And then tie my knot off.
And when you're done, it kind of does look like a flower.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Alrighty. And then once you're done, once your knot is really secure, then you can, cut off the extra string. And then, if you want to make it fancy,
You could possibly cut off a little bit of this extra.
Yes, you could. Or you could, you could cut off a little bit of that extra. All right, so we're going to cut this off here like this. And then we're going to take, okay, so this part, where that is, that was where we started. So on the side opposite that, you can take a hole puncher, which I got at the dollar store, not sponsored, okay? And so then you can just feed it through, and you can poke a hole here.
Right here.
And then, if I can get it loose.
That's the thing about sometimes with hole punchers, that they're really hard to get off.
Yes, they are. They get on, especially on a curve like this, because you have to slide it over the curve. And so we're going to spread it out, and we're going to do one over here. Oop.
And sometimes if you wanted to, if you think they're not even, which obviously sometimes they're not going to be even, you could possibly slide them over.
Yes, you can. They'll slide around just a little bit, so you can spread it out so that it looks more even. Good point, Lily. All right, so I've got 2 holes here, and I'm going to make one more hole, and then we could feed some yarn onto there to make some hangers that hang down that look fancy. Or if you don't have a hole punch, because not everybody does, you could just tie the yarn over the edge to have it hang down. Okay, so do you want some yarn to make some fancy? So then what you can do is you can cut your yarn, decide how long you want your thing to be, right? And
you
then
can put it as long as you would like.
You can make it as long as you'd like, but then once you decide about how long you want it to be, so I want mine to be about that long, folded in half, right?
Yeah.
So then once I have that, then I can take my yarn and I can cut a few of them. So, oops, I'll just bring it over to here.
A little too far.
A little too far, yep. Bring it over to here and give it a cut. And then start again and give it a cut.
You can make it 3 times longer.
Yep, you can make it longer, you can make it shorter, however you want yours to be.
You can make this big.
Yep. Well, that would look kind of, I guess it wouldn't look too bad. It would look like, fringe.
Yeah.
But so then, you could cut it off as long as you want it to be. Yep. And then, let's see, I've got 4. Hopefully, I'll be able to get 6 of them out of this piece of yarn, because that would be good.
Not.
5, almost. It's gonna be close. Okay, so we've got 5
Maybe.
and almost 6. Pretty close. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take 2 of them and I'm going to fold them in half so that I have where the half point is. See? So they're just about half. And I'm going to come up from the back side and I'm going to feed them through the hole.
Sometimes this could be a little hard.
Yeah, this might be something that your grown-up has to help with, but then you make a loop, right? And then you reach through and you grab your yarn and pull it through and give it a little tug. And look, you have a little fringe that hangs down.
It's kind of like a slip knot.
Kind of like a snip lock. Yep, that's going to be a voiceover. Alrighty, you want to try one? You want to do one? Okay, so remember, take 2 pieces. Let's get this out of here. We'll take 2 pieces of, that's 4. So you want to take 2 of them.
Like this.
And make sure you find, just pull the other ends off. There you go. Okay, so then make sure you find the center. Is that the middle? Okay, so then you're going to line up your ends. You're going to find the middle. You're going to feed it through the hole from the back.
You could also twist it.
Yep,
to make
give it a
smaller.
twist. Yep, come up through the hole from the back. Good job. Okay, once you get it through the hole, untwist it. All right, grab a hold, pull through, gently tug so you don't rip the paper plate, and pull it down. And look, see, you've got a fringe. You want to do the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Twist, twist, twist. If you have tiny fingers like me.
Yep. Just pull it through like that. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Okay, and then I'm going to take a string about the same length as I made the fringes on the end. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to tie a knot on one end.
And if you wanted to, you could possibly braid it.
Yes, or I'll show you something else you can do to make it look really cool. All right, so I took the yarn, I folded it in half. At the end, I'm going to make a little slip knot, okay, just like this. So it's got a little knot on the end. Then I'm going to go to the top where my top was. I'm going to feed the loop through, right? I'm going to feed the knot through. I'm going to give it a little pull, and now I made a hanger. See, so now you've got a little hanger at the top.
And if you wanted
And
to,
you've got it
you can
like
make
this.
the hanger even longer.
Yes, you can. You can make it as long as you want it to be. Now, there's a really cool thing about yarn. So if you take one of the pieces of yarn,
Oh, let's move mine out of the way.
Yep. So we're going to take one of the pieces of yarn, and if you unravel it,
Oh,
then
yeah.
it looks really cool because
It looks like you did it like professional.
well, yeah, it makes it look like fluffier, and
Yeah.
it looks really cool. So you can do that where you
And you
pull
can
them.
unravel it all the way if you wanted.
You can just unravel some of them,
Yeah.
you know.
You can like do
or-
every other one.
Or if you wanted, if you have craft feathers at your
Yeah.
house, you could tie craft feathers or just glue them on the ends.
And sometimes if they get a little curly like that.
Yep.
it's
Actually,
fine.
all you have to do is if you give it a little twist, then just run your fingers down it like this, and it will unravel. Or grab it at the top and pull it apart a little bit up higher. What do you think? Are we done?
I'm gonna finish this last one, and then I think we should leave this. I think we should do like 2 of them like this, and then that one just normal.
Okay.